friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited to be sharing my March bullet journal setup with you guys. I've got a really beautiful green theme that I'm really excited about, and in this video I'll also be sharing my top few bullet journaling tips and tricks that are especially helpful for beginners if you're just getting started with journaling. So as usual, I'm starting with one of my favorite pens, my Pigma Micron pen, and I really love the very fine 005 thickness. And right off the bat, you'll notice tip number one, which is that I'm saving the cover page for last. This might be an unusual take, but I always do this and I love doing it because it costs no extra time and it gives you a chance to practice your theme and your doodles on all the other spreads before you commit to the all-important cover page. And right away, tip number two is use dashed lines. So I'm going to be using these dashed lines throughout this theme for all of the grids and boxes. And you'll notice this calendar is a great example of this. Instead of using solid black lines, I'm using a dashed line, and I don't even need to use a ruler here. That's what's great about these dashed lines. Not only are they really kind of aesthetic and cute, but they're really forgiving, and you don't even need a ruler because they don't have to be perfectly straight to still look really good. Now I needed to pick a good green for this theme. I've found a few different greens I'm going to use, and I'm going to be focusing on these greens that are a little bit less bright. I have this Faber-Castell dual tip pen. I also have my trusty Crayola Supertips in this kind of medium green, and then I have this kind of olive green from the Zebra Mildliner. These are two other greens I have, but they're a bit bright, so I don't think I'm going to be using them. For the calendar page now, I'm going to color in the top bar in this kind of medium green from the Crayola Supertips, and I wanted the box to be really sharp and crisp and clean. Now I'm using this white Uniball gel pen. I recently got it and I highly recommended it to you guys, but actually now I'm having second thoughts. Also, a lot of you guys left comments on that video saying that it wasn't good one that you bought, so I don't know, maybe they're a little bit of mixed, and so I'm having some second thoughts. As you can see, the white gel just doesn't flow as smoothly as it did when I tested it, so yeah, I'm a little dubious now. It's still better than the other white gel pens I have, but not as amazing as I first thought. So I'm going to use the same white gel pen to write in the numbers on these green boxes that I drew in each square, and I'm going for a very kind of angular shape this time, so I'm not using any rounded rectangles, all very like straight edge rectangles. For the name of the month, I'm going to write it vertically. This is something I've never tried before, but I kind of ran out of space on the top, so I think it fits really well over there. Something else that's new for me this month is this next month area. I find I often want to write things down that I don't want to forget that are coming up in the next month. So in my current February spread, I just started like kind of scribbling in the margins. So I thought it would be a good idea to add a dedicated space here on the calendar page just to write down some notes and events that are coming up that I don't want to forget next month. Okay, so if you haven't figured it out already, my theme this month is this peace lily theme. I love this peace lily plant. I think it's the perfect plant here that's kind of like cute and aesthetic, but without being too cartoony or doodly. I actually have a peace lily that I've had for years. It's really resilient and really low maintenance. Peace lilies are just so gorgeous and pretty low maintenance, and the flowers that bloom once or twice a year are also really beautiful, so I thought this would be a good theme for March. I'm going to show you in more detail later how I drew and colored in the peace lily, but here's how it's looking. I just had to add a little bit of brown for the soil, and this is how the peace lily has turned out, but I'll show you in more detail, so stay tuned for the cover page at the end. I'll show you in more detail how I drew this. I'm going to finish it off with some washi tapes. I have this really beautiful set of checkered washi tapes, which are great because they're not too loud. And I chose one green one and then another green one that has some yellow tones in it because I think that kind of goes well with the plant theme. And I'm just layering them up in the blank spaces. I always like to use two at a time and kind of layer them and offset them like this. I don't know, I think it's really aesthetic. And continuing this vertical theme, I really like the vertical washi tapes over here. I think it fits the space really well. So this is the calendar spread, and I'm really happy with how this spread turned out. Moving on to the trackers page now, I always do a habit tracker on the left and a mood tracker on the right. There's a lot of other types of trackers you could do, but I don't think I really want to set up that many trackers, and these two work really well for me, and they're pretty flexible because you can track whatever habits you want, so I'm pretty happy with sticking with this sort of spread. If you watched my previous videos recently, you'll know that it was a goal of mine this year with my journaling to be more intentional and only create spreads that really work for me. So I know these two spreads work well, so I'm sticking with them every month so far this year. And now we come to tip number 3, which is to use a checkered grid. So I've done this a little bit already, but now I'm doing it on a full page scale. Adding a checkered grid is such a clutch way of completing the spread, tying it all together, and making it look so much more professional than it may be. I wondered for so long why my spreads didn't look like the really aesthetic ones I saw online, and it took me years to realize that all they were doing was adding a checkered or plaid pattern in the background. So trust me on this one, if you're not sure how to fill in some blank space, try a really simple checkered grid and it's going to transform your spread. Okay guys, for the mood tracker, I am loving how it's looking so far. I already drawn it out in pencil and I basically just kind of went crazy and I made a giant peace lily. I think it's so pretty. There are 31 leaves on it, one for each day, so I'm just tracing it out now in my black pen. This is kind of like a labor-intensive one, I guess. It's maybe a lot more work to set up than just a simple one, so you definitely don't have to do something like this, and I don't do something this complex each month, but this was just calling to me and I think it works perfectly. I think it's gonna look so cool colored in with different shades of green by the end of the month. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one and I hope I stay committed to actually using it, because if you guys know me, you know that's something I struggle with. But I've set up 4 boxes at the bottom and I'm gonna use different shades of green for each different mood that I'm gonna assign them to. And yeah, I think this drawing and this page is gonna look really beautiful at the end of the month, all colored in different shades of green. One other choice that I made this month was to use gray as the kind of complementary color. Every March, I've always done a green theme, but I've always added brown or neutral tones to it, and I think that just makes sense because it's like wooden pots or the brown soil, so it makes a lot of sense. But I wanted to do something different this year, and that's why I purposely chose this gray color for the pot and the gray for the checkered pattern on the left. It's just something a little different, and I wanted the green to stand out more, so yeah, that's why I chose the gray this year. I really like it, but I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you think brown or like warmer tones would have been better for this theme? I'm going to create the first weekly spread of March now. March is really satisfying because it starts on a Sunday, so it's nice that we get to do a full weekly spread, and I'm just adding some leaves in the middle, but I'm going to go quickly here because I'll show you momentarily in more detail how I drew these leaves on the cover page. But I'm using dashed lines again to map out the 7 boxes for the days of the week, and then the last space will be a notes area. I deliberated for a long time what kind of theme to do for March. Part of my hesitation, to be completely honest, was that my February video on YouTube did so well. It's my all-time best plan with me video. Got tons of comments because we also featured a giveaway in that video, so it was just, I felt like I had so much good momentum on my YouTube channel, and I really wanted this video to be popular and to also perform really well. So to be honest, that was a big part of why I was hesitant to commit to a theme, because I really worried that this video wouldn't do as well. And I think February was a high bar to meet. That was a great theme and a really popular one. So I hope this one is also popular, but I also wanted to choose a theme that I like, of course. Every March, I always choose a green theme, so I really wanted to continue that tradition. And in my February video, I asked you guys for suggestions of what kind of theme I should do. A lot of people said something green with plants or spring or leaves. A lot of people also suggested flowers because it's spring, like tulips or daisies, and I really liked that idea, but to me, March feels a little early for flowers. So I wanted to focus on the greenery and the leaves, and initially I wanted to do kind of like a big leaf theme, and I tried a lot of ideas in the back of my journal, but nothing was really working for me, and I think I felt also high pressure on myself to do a really good theme this month, as I mentioned. So finally, when I landed on this simple peace lily theme, I think it struck the right balance for me between leaves and spring, but also kind of something more simple and basic and focusing on the green with just these very simple white flowers. Before we finish off the cover page, I want to show you guys this super cute thermal photo printer sent to me by Fineliner, the sponsor of today's video. They also sent all these really cool thermal papers, so let's try it out together. I downloaded the app and I started to create some labels that I think are going to be perfect for a really cute journal spread. This is the real printing speed, and of course you can also upload your own photos, so I downloaded an image of a March calendar that I'm going to use in my journal. I printed out a little doodle on every single paper that they sent me, including these metallic and translucent ones that are so cool. Here's everything I printed out. I love the wide variety of paper colors. The colors are so beautiful, especially these metallic ones, and I'm obsessed with the translucent background as well. Let's create a quick and easy journal spread with these stickers now. So I'm just peeling them off the backing and laying them out on my spread. The backing adhesive is super strong, so you don't need to worry about anything peeling off. This spread was so quick and easy to set up thanks to all of these stickers, and I'm obsessed with how these metallic ones turned out so beautiful. Now I'm using pens to just fill in the background and add a few doodles that match a kind of March leafy green theme, and these translucent papers are so cool and perfect for layering because of the clear background. Thank you so much to Fineliner for sponsoring today's video. I've left the link to this printer in the description box so you guys can check that out for yourselves. Now it's finally time to come back to the cover page. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'll always leave the cover page for last because now I have a good idea of what works, what doesn't, and how to draw these leaves and the peace lily. So to draw these leaves, one thing that I think was really important was to make the edges wrinkly. I started out by sketching these as kind of smooth, kind of typical doodly leaves, and it just didn't look that good in my opinion. I think when you make the edges a bit wrinkly, it looks a lot more realistic. If you go look at peace lilies or a lot of other house plants, the leaves are not perfectly smooth. They're a little wrinkled, and so I think this makes it look so much more realistic. I also made sure to add very thin stems to each leaf because peace lilies, actually each leaf is on an individual stem. So I think that also helps to make this doodle look a bit more realistic. And then I also made sure that each leaf was kind of facing a different angle. They're not all flat facing us in front. I've drawn some of them from the side, some of them from underneath, and I think that really ties the whole plant together and makes it look less doodly or cartoony, but still pretty simple and minimalist. I'm using a really simple font this month. I always like to do calligraphy, but this is so underrated and you don't need calligraphy skills or any crazy fonts to make your journal look good. I think this simple capital letter font is great. It lets the focus be on the drawings, and I think this minimalist font worked really well for this theme. Now to color the plant, I had various shades of green, and I definitely recommend using multiple shades to give it a bit more dimension. I started with that light green underneath. To be honest, I don't think that really did anything, so you could skip that. But now I'm using that medium green from the Crayola Supertips, and I'm kind of just roughly coloring in all the leaves, and I'm going to go in afterwards to add a bit of shading. I think this was the perfect green. It's not too bright and crazy. I didn't want it to look too cartoony or tacky, so I'm really happy with the shade of green that I chose. And now I'm going back in with the darker green, and I'm kind of just filling in some of the gaps that I left before. And what you can do is pick one side, so for example either the right or the left, and just add a little bit of shading to each side of the leaf, and that really helps make it a bit more three-dimensional. Also, some leaves were drawn upside down or from underneath, so you can color in the parts that you think the light wouldn't reach, like the underside of the leaves, and that makes it look a little bit more realistic. I'm finishing off this spread with a few more of those checkered gray patterns. Once again, I'm really happy that I chose gray. It's just a bit different than what I've done in past years, but I think a brown or like a warm tan tone would have looked really nice as well. I'm curious to know, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you prefer the gray accent color, or do you think a brown would have been better to go with the green theme? And now last but certainly not least, I'm going to give you tip number 4, which is use consistent and few colors. So you'll notice throughout this whole theme, both my pens and my washi tapes, I stuck to only 3 colors, 2 different greens and a light gray. and this might feel a little bit boring, and if you want to use more colors, absolutely go for it. But if you want this really minimalist, kind of simple, polished aesthetic, trust me on this, less colors is more. And here is the final flip through. I'm so happy with how this theme turned out. It's so aesthetic and simple. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me set this one up, and I hope you found the tips that I shared helpful, and I'll speak to you guys next month. Bye friends!